Right. Alright, we're on live PSDovito podcast, and this week's guest is NF Punk. But if you bear with me 2 seconds, I just have to put myself appearing online. Boom. Okay, right. Oh, what's happened here? Start match, I don't know. Right, we've got this Royal Rumble going on in the back, same as we did last time. We picked 10 guys each. That will miss that.
You're already breaking up, dude.
Breaking up?
Yeah.
Kind
of.
Shouldn't be. Fucking controllers.
You're okay now.
Alright, cool. Alright, cool. So, like to welcome our guest, Mr. NF Punk. How are you, mate?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Yeah, good. Same old. But yeah, so you want to introduce yourself? Tell people a little about your channel, your game. You do gaming channel on that, don't you? So.
Yeah, man. Basically, I'm NF Punk. I have a YouTube channel where I normally upload a bit of Joe Rogan's podcast, hear your little clips, important parts, and I also do a lot of Call of Duty Zombies. That's like my main go-to game. And that's pretty much it, man, that I do on my channel. So, that's really all I do.
Not bad. Right, so, Rob, you got some questions, yeah?
I need these in a notepad, but yeah, I've got some questions.
Oh, I should have sent them.
I got them. Alright, Mr. NF Punk. You could answer this both ways. You could. Let's just ask it like this. What is your favourite game of all time, and what is your favourite current game that you play?
Cool, that's a good one. Alright, my favourite game of all time is Final Fantasy VII. My favourite current game is any Call of Duty that has a zombies mod. That's all I do, bro. If you see me on the PlayStation, that's all I'm doing is like, you know, hunting down Easter eggs, trying to like solve like the hidden, you know, game fucking quest to get a platinum trophy or any trophy. Yeah, but my favourite all-time game is Final Fantasy VII, and the reason why that would be is because, man, I remember I was like 9 or 10, man, playing that game for months. Like hours and hours of gameplay, and I just loved it. And I played it like 2 years ago because you can get it on the PS4 now, and yeah, it only took me 2 weeks to beat the game when I got that time. So, oh yeah, man, Final Fantasy VII, and currently any Call of Duty.
So with the Final Fantasies though, there's a newer one in there. What's the newest one for that?
15. I never played. I see Final Fantasy VII, and it's weird, was the only one I played. Like,
yeah.
I dabbled in the other Final Fantasies, but I was like, yeah, these characters either A, look weird. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I can't get used to this. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII was probably the only one I played.
Fair enough. I never actually played them myself. I had a go. I think, were they on the Super Nintendo or something like that?
I'm not too sure, but I know for me it was PS1.
Yeah, it might have been PS1 then. I know it's a fucking long time ago I played it, but it just like I didn't get into it straight away, and I think it's one of them games you need to spend time with, and it to get into it properly.
It has a very slow burn, man. Like, you could be playing that game for like 5 hours before it'll actually get good. You know?
Yeah.
So it's one of the games, man.
Yeah, and talking the Nazi zombies, do you remember did you first discover it on World at War?
I did.
Yeah.
It was when you complete the campaign, there was a mode that you unlocked, Nazi zombies, and
yeah,
man, I remember playing that, man. I was like, man, this is fucking so cool.
Yeah.
Killing zombies. It gave me that like Left 4 Dead vibe, but it kind of made it better because they were like running around in a tight area.
Yeah.
And I loved it, and Man, ever since I've been following every map.
Mate,
Like every map.
I remember when I completed the campaign, you're laying on the floor and that zombie starts running towards you. You're like, what the fuck is this? It comes up Nazi zombies, and I was like, fucking, that was one of, like, I popped for that. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah,
was
man.
so cool, man. It was something that we never expected, like in a Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that intrigued people. It was like, alright, what is this mod? Like, I remember when people like were first like playing that, they were like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I'm saying? But look where zombies is at now, man. Zombies is probably better than the multiplayer mods these days.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
man.
how hard it's gone.
And I reckon that Call of Duty Zombies is probably responsible for kicking off the whole zombie phenomenon in, like, you know what I mean, in the media. Like, we've got so many movies, TV shows and other zombie games that came out since then. I reckon Call of Duty was like the catalyst for that.
Like, if I wanted to say there was a catalyst, my first thing that would pop in my mind is Resident Evil. Like, that to me was like, alright, this, like, Resident Evil 1, you remember playing that game and then, like, a zombie just dashes through the window and you're, like, screaming, like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like,
when the dog jumps through the window the first time.
Man, yeah, that was like a dog, man, the hell thing, man.
And that
I nearly died.
that first licker as well. The first licker you encounter, fucking hell, man. They were scary games.
Yeah, and like, look at the generation we're in now, man. Like, it came from like a very bad pixelated Resident Evil to games now that are like, you like them, but like deep inside they are scary, and like people don't like to admit it. But man, Outlast, like, look how far. Like, I don't know if they're zombies, but they're kind of, you know, they're zombies to me. Damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, it just shows you the genre of like undead and stuff like that, man. But yeah, Call of Duty would be up there for the catalyst of, like, you know, being the backbone of all these like Walking Dead, you know, all stuff like that with the TV shows. I agree.
Yeah. So have you played Killing Floor?
Have I played it? Well, I think what you were trying to say, did I try to play it? Yes.
Oh,
I played Killing Floor 2 because it was free. That's one reason.
Yeah.
Telling the truth, man, it's not my cup of tea. I know a lot of people love it, but I think for me, over being like that Call of Duty Zombies basically, where, you know, I get perks and wander weapons and all this, and it's very different to what I'm used to, so I can't really get used to it. It's like when people say to me, hey, why don't you play Just Cause 3? I'm like, no, why would I? Because Grand Theft Auto 5. You know, they're the same game, Grand Theft Auto's better. That's it.
Yeah, we're not big fans of Killing Floor. We did play it, but he said it's fucking run, you know, we got bored of it.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. It's like, what is it, like a wave after wave type of thing? Like, there's no hidden...
No, there's a boss. It goes like, you can do 4 waves, 7 waves, 10 waves, but there's a boss at the end of it, and then, but there's only 2 bosses, and it's just not that good overall, to be honest. But
yeah, no wonder it was free, bro.
Yeah. Go on, Rob. Getting a bit quiet, mate. Questions, anything to add to that?
No, just crack on with the next question. I'm just letting you guys chat because it's not about me, it's about NF Punk. What is your favourite genre of game?
It would... See, there's a few. Okay, this is... I like adventure games with like the whole feeling of like Uncharted, right? Love Uncharted. But I'm also into like a horror genre as well, so it'd be like adventure and horror, you know, something like that. So probably both of them would be my genres. Fighting games, yeah, depending on what game it is. Like wrestling game, yeah, that's the game I just put on if I feel like putting someone through a table.
Yeah.
But yeah, probably like you get like The Last of Us, games like that, like your what horror adventure type of games, right?
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Yeah, that would be my genre, man.
So do you like Dying Light? Are you into that?
Yeah, I played it. I never actually beat the game, but tell you the truth, I got sick of it. There was like a part, I remember it was like in the early beginnings, man. That's how like bad I just gave up. Where
Yeah.
you had to like find all these tools, and yeah, I just wanted to feel the experience of, you know, running around town where there's a lot of zombies.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah, no, we do like that. We're currently doing like a walkthrough series on this channel
Awesome.
for Dying Light. But
Cool, cool.
yeah, it's a good game, good game.
Yeah, it's a good game, man. Like as I just said, like normally I'll have intentions of playing this game, but then my mind goes, here, fuck it, I'll play, I don't know, Crash Bandicoot for 4 hours, you know.
Yeah. Oh, Shawn Michaels is about to get my bushwhacker out of the ring. Bollocks. Is he going?
Bye.
Ah, the bushwhacker's still in. Go on, Luke. Go on, sorry. I know you two can't see the rumble, but right. Go on then, Rob, anything?
What is your favourite character in a video game?
Ooh. Oh man, no, that is a good one. Favorite character? Okay, in Final Fantasy I was Sephiroth. But all time, oh man, I gotta go with Nathan Drake out of characters. Yeah, Nathan Drake.
It's a good choice.
You're into the Fallout. What are they called? Uncharted. You're into them, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like them games.
You'd be able to talk more about them than I would. I've completed
Yeah, I mean,
two of them, I think.
There's some of the like best action adventure storyline driven games ever created.
Oh, easily, man. Like you played Uncharted 4, right, Rob?
I did start to play it, but I got stuck. I was playing it on the hardest setting, and I kept getting killed in a particular bit, and I kind of just stopped playing it. But
Right, well.
I want to go back to it.
Man, I'm telling you, when you get like to near the end, when you're like discovering, you already know about Avery, right? You know that's what the whole game is about, Avery's treasure.
Yeah.
When you get to the last scene where you're discovering the boat, man, the view of the game is so like, it sounds gay, bro, but it's fucking beautiful. Like I was like mesmerized looking at the graphics. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was fucking mad, man. So cool.
I'm like that with graphics, man. I can just stand there and go, yeah, it looks pretty fucking good, that.
Yeah, right. You're like, here, let me take a screenshot, use it as a background.
Yeah. Alright. What would you say is your favourite storyline from a video game?
Definitely The Last of Us. With the whole Ellie and Joel in the post-apocalyptic world, and how she was bitten, but she never like died. Like she has some immune blood in her.
Yeah.
That was pretty fucking cool, man. Like just the whole story of he lost his family and Joe, she was like an orphan type of girl or something, and the way they just connected, and it was so, man, I loved that. It was so good. That would be the best storyline, like storytelling of a game, and that's why there's a part 2 coming.
Yeah, really looking forward to that. They done it well as well with that game, because you know at the start Joel was like, "Fuck off! I don't nothing to do with you. You're nothing to do with me," and then
Right, man.
they built it, you know, and then it was like eventually it's like basically his daughter.
Father and daughter, yeah.
Yeah.
It reminded me of you know the Walking Dead Telltale series with Everett and Clementine. Like that was sad, bro. That was sad. But it was great storytelling. That's what a game should be. You know, like I agree. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And this, go on, back. Sorry, mate.
No, go on, mate.
I was just going to move on to the next question.
No, I was only just going to say, yeah, I like Resident Evil 2. probably my favourite story, and I think Last of Us, kind of like people say Last of Us story was original. It kind of was, but I think it was kind of done in Resident Evil 2. In some ways with Sherry. It wasn't quite the same. It wasn't quite the same, but you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I think there was some elements of Resident Evil in that game. But like, you know, for any post-apocalyptic type of zombie world, like we'd always think of Resident Evil anyway, like in the back of our head.
Yeah.
That's where it kind of all started.
Yeah. Yeah, go on then, mate.
Alright, this is probably quite an obvious question, or an obvious answer. But what are you currently playing?
Like currently, games I'm currently playing are Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, just as zombies more because multiplayer sucks ass.
Yeah.
And a bit of Crash Bandicoot when I feel like that, and sometimes, depending on my mood, I like to jump on probably Outlast 2.
Alright, cool.
But the main game is Call of Duty. That'd be my main go-to game.
Alright, cool.
Alright, move on.
Yeah, you might as well, mate. I ain't got nothing to add to that. We've already covered it, really, haven't we?
Yeah. Again, this is probably another obvious answer. What would you recommend as a multiplayer game?
Who, like, if I was to tell people to play a multiplayer game, what game would I tell them to play?
Yeah.
Probably, like, as a shooting game or any type of multiplayer game?
Any type.
Well, I was WWF No Mercy.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Probably the best wrestling game of all time, bro.
Yeah. And Stan.
Yeah, gosh, multiple hours I used to play with my friends in that game, man. That was, like, you look back and the graphics look like shit. But the game is actually really fun. Gosh, and probably, just from my own experience, I was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for the multiplayer, because that was probably the best multiplayer experience I had.
Have you tried? Have you tried Battlefield?
I was actually playing that recently. I only get like the opening monologue type of thing so far. I played a few games of Team Deathmatch. I like it. My only, like, the graphics and everything look good. My only concern, I don't like with Call of Duty multiplayer. You can like find an opponent and, like, you know, not an opponent, but like find an enemy like in a matter of like 5 or 10 seconds, right?
Yeah.
With Battlefield, bro, it's like hide and seek. It's like, okay, where are you, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Show me.
Yeah.
The maps are very, very big. I like that in some cases, but not all the time, because I don't want to be, you know, sticking in the fucking left analog stick for like 5 minutes before I find someone before I get killed. But yeah, probably, Battlefield is pretty good, man. I like that. I want to play the campaign, but is it any good?
I don't know, mate. I've only played a bit of multiplayer, but they're not really my cup of tea, them games. I don't mind them.
Yeah.
I like the single player. Like World at War, I've done Modern Warfare 1 and 2. But I didn't even play story mode on Black Ops 2.
That was actually a pretty good one, story mode in Black Ops 2. That was actually good.
Yeah.
Black Ops 3 was shit. Well, the campaign mode was shit, but the zombies mode and multiplayer were pretty fucking decent.
Yeah. Go on then, mate. Go on.
Alright. What game or games are you looking forward to within the next year or two?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, the obvious one first is I cannot wait for November the 3rd when the next Call of Duty drops. The Last of Us 2 would be another one. I don't, you know what, just because I play them when, like, like if I like go into offline mode on the PlayStation, I always play like these Marvel games. It's a weird thing, bro. Like I'll play like all the Spider-Man games. I was looking at the new Spider-Man game. As much as the movies suck, I like the feeling of the game.
Yeah.
So maybe the new Spider-Man game. There's another game I've seen at E3. Would it be Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or something like that? I don't know the name of it, but it looked pretty good. And obviously the new God of War, but that won't be out until like February or something, I think.
You've played them a lot, haven't you, Rob? I've only had a go once of God of War.
Yeah, man, I used to play both of them back in the day on the PS2, God of War 1 and 2.
Yeah, God of War 3 is my favourite.
Yeah, I started playing that on the PS3. I had the old fat model, and I got quite far into the game. I think I was over halfway, and then my PS3 died.
Ooh, damn.
So obviously I lost all my save data and all that kind of jazz, and I haven't gone back to it since. So, but that game was, for its time, the graphics were fucking some of the best I've seen.
Yeah, man, they were very underrated graphics. Like, the graphics were amazing for the time that we were in. Even when The Last of Us on the PlayStation 3, because I played it on the PlayStation 3 before PS4, and the graphics in the PlayStation 3, like, there is no real difference.
No.
They look both, like, they look good. It looks good. Jesus, I felt like going around, so. It looks good.
Mate, my bushwhacker's still in the ring. He's outlasted Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Stone Cold. Looks like AJ Styles is about to go out. Fucking bushwhacker's smashing it, dude.
The underdog.
Right, have we got any more questions there, or are we on the next?
No, it's back to you now, mate.
Alright, so that lasted a little bit longer than David Rivera's questions. We got the 22 minutes this time. So we obviously need more questions, but to long this up. So fuck it. Right, we're going to ask everybody that comes on here if they are a part of the YTWE or they watch the YTWE. We're going to ask you, what is your YTWE experience?
Like what I was saying, pretty good. Like, there was a period of time where, my laptop was fucked up for a bit, and I hate doing promos off a phone, dude. Like, I really hate it because you can't really, do much on a phone.
Yeah.
But, and there was a period where I couldn't do a promo, so, like, I was showing up here and there.
Yeah.
But, like, I just cut the promo on the latest show and whatnot. I like it, man. It's probably the best, like, one of the best EFLs I've been in. There was never any drama, and that was a big theme in EFLs that I was in. And it's like, it's just straight and narrow, man. It's I like what you guys do. Like, you make women's wrestling in EFLs actually entertaining. Better than the actual wrestling itself.
Yeah. And
you have like a big roster, man. Like, there's a lot of people that I was like thinking, wow, they're actually into EFLs, and it's so cool, man, that there's a big roster that are, and you know what I'm saying, man. Like, when I look at like every one of the shows, the commentary from the storyline, like, that's all you guys, and I'm having fun doing it. You should fire David Rivera, but that's just right. I'm joking, I joke. But yeah, man, I'm having a good time at YTWE. Hopefully I'll be here for, how long it ever is. But,
man.
Yeah, it's going smooth, man. I feel bad for Ed and Drake. But, man, I like it. I like the whole, the whole stories that you kind of come up with. Right now, the Eclipse is a big one.
Yeah.
you know, and like in the past, like, you know, the whole Boston fan DCA kidnapping, stuff like that, and you know, there's just so much, man. Like, I enjoy it, man, especially with your like impromptu of who's next to join. Like when I was watching, I think it was Ballycastle that debuted. Like
Yeah.
he debuted like months before me, and it was cool because it was impromptu. Nobody told me about it,
Yeah.
and you know, me and Jason talked pretty much. So like it was like, okay, so how the fuck did you get there before me? You know? But yeah, it was that cool, man. I like it, man. It's like I'm only watching that show. Like there's commentary. There's no cold matches where you're just watching two AI guys, you know, battling it out, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's the thing. When I started it, we was doing AI matches all the time, but they got like really boring, and it was like they just do the same shit. The matches don't make sense. There's no fucking psychology there. Like was so we think it's better to play the matches, make a match out of it, you know.
Yeah, and actually pick a winner, and that's a big thing too, man. Like obviously it's predetermined what way it goes. You know, it's not like AI type of thing. And I think that is the route to go, because like you can either like just if you want to build a character, you make him win.
Yeah.
If you want to job a character, you make him lose.
Yeah.
You know, and that has to like work out. And well, you're doing it for a while now, so it's working out well for you.
Yeah. Alright, go on then, a couple of tie-ins. What has been the favourite match that you've watched from YTWE?
Alright, I think it would have to be when Robert Rage was facing Will.
Yep.
That one where it was like all bloody and stuff.
Yep.
Not only was the match good, but I was looking at it behind the scenes. I was looking at it like, man, do you realise what you were doing? Like, you had to literally go into a match, exit the match, make his attire more bloody looking, go back into the match, go back out of the match, make him more bloody looking.
Yeah.
that was yeah, like that takes time, man. That's, you know, hats off for doing it, man. It worked out. So
Yeah.
probably that.
Yeah, that was that did take quite a bit of doing. The 3 stages of Rage, the rematch that they had, that was the hardest one to do. We had to do a lot of fucking about to get that one. The way it looked in the end, we done alright with that one.
Yeah, man, definitely.
But yeah, a lot of people do prefer the conspiracy theory match to 3 stages of Rage, and I think that is to do with the blood. You know what I mean? I don't know which match was better, but myself, but
Right. It's just, you know, it's pick your poison type of thing. You know,
Yeah.
whatever one you think fits you, like that would be your choice.
yeah.
But yeah, I think for me it would be that Robert and Will match.
Alright.
As far as I know, I think it was the one where Robert won. Did Robert win one of them? I think he did.
No,
It was one where Robert won.
they drew in the first
no,
match.
actually, it was a count. Yeah, it was. That was it. They drew. It was like a double count out type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That was the one. Yeah.
Alright. Who are your 3 favourite YTWE wrestlers?
Wrestlers or guys that I'd like to go like work with type of thing.
Well, your 3 favourite to watch on the shows. So.
Well, apart from me.
yeah.
I like to watch Robert. I like to watch. Well, there's like I could name like 5 off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So like Robert, like the QDCA guys, Will and Jesse. Ballycastle, because I think it's funny, like the shit he does. Like you have that guy jumping off ladders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And probably maybe the Tinkerbell or whatever is it? I'll probably say that one.
Cage and Tinkerbell.
Cage, yeah, the matches that they have, like her and Brooke,
Yeah.
Brandon Brooke, is that it?
Yeah.
Right. Like matches. Look, I like watching them type of matches, man. They're pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we do try to make a big deal out of the women's wrestling because I do a bit with a British wrestling promotion called Pro Wrestling Eve. You might have heard of them.
Okay.
They're an all-female promotion.
Right.
And so I'm very much into that women's wrestling anyway. You know what I mean? And I'm
Right.
and I see these girls go out there, and honestly, they have some of the most hard-hitting, brutal matches sometimes. But they're technically gifted. They can fly. They really can do everything the guys do. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
well, we want to portray that in YTWE. You know?
Yeah, man, and it's working out well. Like you're doing it that way. Like by having like day after doing more times than that, and it could be wrong. They close out the show most of the time, correct?
Yeah.
Like there would be the
Well, I kind of tried to do an alternate thing. So 1 week is the women, 1 week is the men. You know what I mean? So it's kind of
so
like
there's an equal basis there.
yeah,
Like it's
yeah,
not going to be male dominant this week. You know, the women are on. You know, stuff like that.
yeah.
Totally agree.
I tried because the first pay-per-view I think I done was called Equal Measure, and that was about me saying the women and the men are on an even kill here. The only thing I can't do obviously is have men versus women because the game won't let me. So, but
Yeah, and that's a pain,
but-
isn't it?
I would probably mix it up like they do in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And like, you know, if I can see it, and like, I don't really watch, you know, that many events. Like, I don't really watch. Like, my full focus be watching the YT, right?
Yeah,
And obviously, like, my eyes might wander onto another one, which I kind of look at for the laughs. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, so that happens.
yeah.
But, yeah, the YT, man, I'm having a good experience in it. I think it's a great event, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks, appreciate it.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it. Alright then, so we've got this other one, and this was inspired by Will's World Entertainment. He asked us, we was just talking once normally, like, and he was talking about a wrestling Mount Rushmore. If you could pick 4 wrestlers to have carved into a wrestling Mount Rushmore for all time, what 4 wrestlers would you pick?
Ooh, okay. For me, and I gotta be honest,
Yep.
number 1 would be The Undertaker.
Good choice.
Number 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Good pick.
Number 3, jeez. I could be a bit biased here, but it's because he was like one of the first like wrestlers I was fascinated about, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah. Yep. Good choice.
And my last one, just for the hell of it, and because, you know, I think he is one of the best of the generation, and that would probably be... You know what, people are going to hate it, but you have to face facts. He was good for his time, and like, even though he still kind of does it, but you got to put Triple H in there, man. That's a controversial one. But
Yeah.
you know what, he never really gets acknowledged for the shit he really does. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
people only say, oh, he buries people. Like, yeah, Booker T probably, but other than that, you know, like, he brought a lot, man. When Shawn Michaels left, like, he had to bring a lot to the table when he became a solo guy.
Yeah, well, I won't get into it too much. Triple H ain't my favourite person, but a lot of that is to do with, you know, growing up, I didn't like him anyway. I didn't like his wrestling, I didn't like his character, I didn't like nothing about him. And when DX split up, I was a Shawn Michaels fan, and I always felt like in the beginning Triple H shouldn't have.
You know what?
You know,
if I want to be fair, and you know what, screw the marks out there, bro. Replace Triple H with CM Punk.
Fair enough, mate.
Dude, like that's in a weird way how I got my name.
Yeah.
For YouTube, but that's a whole different story.
Alright, well, we're 35 minutes in. We went 40 odd minutes last time. So that's when the Rumble ended last time. So, fuck it. Go into the open forum, mate. Anything. This is your floor. You can turn it round on us a bit, ask some questions, or unless there's anything you want to particularly say.
If you want, I could inform you how I actually got into the whole EFES scene, which is quite funny. It's
go
story.
Go for it, mate. It's your floor, mate. Open forum.
Alright, not like plugging anybody here, because trust me, nobody would go there. But alright, about 2 years ago, like I heard of people like talking about EFEDs like on Facebook and stuff, and I was like, what the fuck is an EFED? An entertainment fed? Or is that what it's, what does the E stand for, entertainment?
Electronic, innit?
Oh, is that it, right? So that's what it is, electronic fed. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Alright, learned something new every day. Alright, so about 2 years ago, I was, friends with Will, Jesse, them guys, and Michael Miner, right? Yeah. And they were doing some, like, E-Fed with, to me, it looked pretty silly, It was like, pretending to be wrestlers on camera.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot, so I got brought into a Skype call with, like, am I allowed to mention people's names, or is that okay?
Yeah, well, it's up to you, mate. It's, like, you know what I mean?
Okay, it's whatever, it's all my doing here.
This is your floor, yeah.
Right, so, it was the NWS, you probably heard of them, right?
Yeah.
So basically, I got brought into like a Skype call or a Google Hangout, and they were like, oh yeah, NF Punk, yeah, you can come in, you can be a tag team partner with Ballycastle. No, not that I have any issues about being a tag team partner with Ballycastle. It was the fact that me and Ballycastle have to be tag team partners to face people that never even existed, people that don't even do promos.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the hell is the point of that,
Yeah.
So, I was shit at cutting promos, and I kind of still am. I think I'm on the route of where I'm cutting a promo. I don't want to make it feel like I'm, reading something, there's bullet points. I understand that they can be bullet points, but I like to go, say something unexpected, like go on the route of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember then just kept doing it, and there was a lot of fucking drama in that fit, man. Like, just so much drama where, and I feel ashamed even saying it, but, like, they would, like, alright, they know it's, like, it's all fake, right, and, it's not a real belt that you actually win, but they get on, like, as if, so, alright, I do this, and I'm like, okay, what's my plan, like, who am I feuding with, and they're like, oh, you're facing a dragon. Okay, I'm facing a dragon. Will I win or will I get eaten alive? So, I kept building. I kept losing and losing and losing, and I didn't want to be that fucking bitter bitch. But I was like, man, do I really have to complain about a fucking EFED that I'm losing in a game? You know what I'm saying? And what even game, dude? It was pretty much imaginary.
Yeah.
So it was just some guy writing results and reading them so fast that you don't understand one word he's saying. So me and a few others, and this was how AWA became about, because it was quite funny. There was a storyline, and every storyline revolved around 3 people at the time. And, fuck it, Scott Casey-Gill, Cody Brainerd, and fucking Jack Harvey. Those 3, and Ian Cleland, sorry. Those 4 always were in the main story, like they were like a John Cena, Roman Reigns, right? And like guys that were like way older than him and probably you know, a couple of the promos in them were like fucking, I don't know, fucking, who's a jobber these days? James Ellsworth or someone.
Yeah.
So every story was evolving then, and then one day I just said, fuck it, I know if I quit. And not only did I quit, Jesse quit the same time, Ballycastle quit the same time, I forget who else. Leon Calavera, I don't know if you know him, he quit.
It's like Scorpion Death Drop, isn't it?
Yeah, right, him.
Yeah.
So, fucking, I was talking to Jesse, he was talking about he was on his own E-Fed, and I was like, cool, man. And, you know, we're thinking of names, and I was like, well, you do your Death Clock Armageddon. You know, I said, why not Armageddon Wrestling Alliance? AWA, sounded cool, and so if anyone out there wants to know, I made up the name. So yeah, and then we were doing AWA, and you know, the rest is history, I suppose. And the AWA chant, the longest running right now because there's no shows, so I don't have to work. But yeah, and it's been fun, and I'm enjoying it, like doing the whole, you know, E-Fed. Like, I always wanted to be the guy where, and you know, I'm not shitting on anybody or anything, but like, just Gabriel Rivera, Boston fan guys like that, like they do a promo like what, every show pretty much around it, right?
Yeah.
Well, as bad as it sounds, and it's not about not contributing, I want to be the guy that where the way my kind of promos are going is like not a rare occasion or a special occasion type of thing, but I want there to be hype behind what I'm saying in a promo. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
You know, like depending on what it would be. Like I just did a promo there, and I was talking about like Robert Rage and all other guys, and that was all from stuff that was in like the past few months. So if there's like a gap there where just from now until like, I don't know, 2 weeks something happens, you know, I could talk about it, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
man.
Not cutting a promo for like just cutting a promo.
It's not like cutting a promo for the sake of it, you know. I don't want my face being repetitive where people are like, oh, him again. You know what I'm saying? Or like I like to think that I can like intrigue people when I'm saying a promo. Like I don't really rage in promos, just because of the fact, I don't know, neighbours would be one. You think like, hey, what's up with this guy? But not only that though, but I like since I don't really rage in promos, like I could if I have to, but I rather like take away that rage and put in like, I don't know, I don't want to call it a pipe bomb because that's like term is overused, maybe a shoot in a way, you know what I'm saying? Like take away the grammar of, okay, what's he going to say now, you know, stuff like that. And I like that type of context in a promo where like Will, he does promos where God only knows what the fuck he's going to say, right? But he keeps it in weights in promo mode, and I like that.
Yeah, he's very good with it, Will. I find both him and Jesse, I can literally just say I need a promo, and 9 times out of 10 they don't need me to give them any background info, or you know what I mean. They get what's happening on the show. They know what they should and shouldn't say. Do you know what I mean? It's like some people go on and go, right, I want a Hell in a Cell match with these 5 guys tomorrow. And I'm like, well, no, that's not going to happen, is it? Because that ain't what I've got planned. Do you know what I mean? But
and that's actually something like you said it was like an open forum where I can ask you and Rob something, right?
Yeah,
well,
sure.
Alright, since like you both do the YT or the creators of it, my question be for you. Alright, now, as long as I've been doing it, you fed me bullet points of what to say, right, in the promo.
Yep.
And, you know, I think that's cool in a way because it gives me direction of, okay, this is what I gotta say, this is the formula of what's gonna happen next, type of thing. So my thing would be, what happens if a guy, like, you kind of gagged into it there, but what happens if a guy, like, you said, okay, do a promo, and he did a promo, he's like, I want to be in the main event, I want to, you know, win a world title, I want to face the champion for a title, and he said this, like, in a live promo.
Yeah.
Is there a way that you can retract that, and, like how do you work behind the scenes, like, okay, how can we, like, like obviously this guy just wants to be trying, you know, and get the bit right away, but how do we retract that and say, you know what, you kind of have to wait for that, you know what I'm saying?
Well, look at it this way, right, some people don't like this, right, but I say I'm the governor for a reason, right? I am the final say on anything that goes on the show, right? And anything that happens on the show. Now, for example, right, take your most recent promo, yeah? You was all like, you're saying you want to move up, you want to do this, you want to do that, yeah? And I'm like, alright, but you picked on Boston fan, right, who's been a former world champion, former IC champion. He's beat Rob, he's beat Bringer, you know, like, so for me to bring you straight in and beat him wouldn't be right. Yeah. You also you picked on Robert Rage, yeah? For you to come in and beat him straight away, like now, wouldn't be the right time for it. You know what I mean? So basically I'd go, alright, well if this guy wants to work to the world title, then I'll do it, you know? Like I have with, say, you know, like Will and Jesse and people like that have been building them up over the year to that main event status where, alright, either one of them right now is primed to be world champion. You know, we've got the Tribal Elder as the champion, but it could be Jesse or Will, you know what I mean? We've pushed them that far, you know?
Right, and that's what I like about that, man, because even there was a moment in time where, and this was like a holy shit moment, right?
Yeah.
Where you had my character come out and was the first tribal ever, like, try to win the championship off him.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like stuff like that, it was like, okay, I see what these guys are doing there. Not only like am I still like, because, you know, there's still a lot of build with my character, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But you also like testing the waters of, okay, if he was, you know, if this was him in this picture, you know what I'm saying? And that was pretty cool. And also me killing referees is what I love too.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So like, there's a lot of aspects, and the reason like I mentioned guys like that was in that promo, and like I heard, like obviously there's like a lot of backstory with certain things and what I said about Boston fan, and you know, I messaged Boston fan. I said, look, this is just a promo. You know, we kind of like, you know, had a private PM exchange about that, and he was like, yeah, cool, man.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, okay, he's politicking behind the scenes, you know, shit like this, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I get, like, the king, like, didn't David Rivera, right?
Yeah.
I've no ill will towards David Rivera or any king, and obviously he's been doing this a lot longer, and he gets shit on a lot. I don't know if it's because of promo ethics or whatever it is, but I think with him it's just he still needs to find who he is as a character, and you know, I could be wrong saying that, but for me when watching him, like, you know, he's one of them guys, man, where he cuts a promo and it feels like I just watched it last week. Does that make sense? Like it's like, you know, as people would say, it's a typical John Cena promo, right? Where it's always the same kind of thing. Yeah. And I think with him, yeah, definitely, like, you know, he's still like, he's doing good. Obviously, he's what, an IC champ, or is he still an IC champ? Yeah.
No. Pat's the IC champion in a minute, isn't he?
Right, well, he was a former IC champ for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, he did something right. But yeah, the reason why, like, I mentioned Robert Rage and stuff is because I remember when I first come here, like, Will would be saying, like, you know, Robert's good at cutting promos, and I agree, man. I watch your promos, Rob, you know, they're pretty outlandish and cool, right? So that would be the whole thing why I mentioned him, because I forget what I said. I think quote unquote I was like, oh, there's an urban myth to be the man, the white team that beat Robert. I don't know what the hell I was saying, but you know, it was kind of like setting up the future, and that's things that I like doing. And it's not as if, hey, I'm waving a flag saying put me in the main event, because even if I'm on the show as bonus, you know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of look at it that way. If I'm on the show, that's cool. Yeah. I understand you got to do promos to be on the show too, and you know, that's why I'm actually doing promos now. Yeah, but to be fair, there's there's a few that I kind of nod my head about. So like I want to ask you a question because I often had this conversation with several people, like
Go on.
like just a Will or whatever, and this is for the both of you. Michael Minor cuts promos, right?
Yep.
How do you guys feel when you're watching him cut his promo, and nearly every promo he puts an aspect of real life into it, where he's saying, oh, he just got out of class or something, you know, where he's like, oh, I was watching Atlanta Georgia's or whatever, the Falcons play football today, and he was thinking about his YouTube channel. Then he goes into promo mode. Does that like piss me off, or does it be like, oh, Mike, you need to tone that bit down, or like, how do you feel? Because I'm watching it, I'm laughing, I'm like, why are you saying that part now? Come on in promo and say, hey, I ate chicken today, you know? So, like, I want to know, like, did you kind of, like, notice that in promos from him, or?
Well, I see it in the promos and I just think, alright, it's unnecessary. He don't need to say it, but I don't know. I guess that's kind of part of his. I see it as kind of part of his character. I guess he's just Minor tells you about his day or something. I don't know, but
yeah, before you know it, he'll have a stable called Daily Vlogs.
Yeah,
who knows?
But the way it is for me with the promos is, I ask for the promos, people send them to me, yeah? Whatever they send to me, I'll take it and I'll use it, yeah? Because I think, well, if they sent it, then they're happy for that to be a representation of themselves, their character, you know? They're happy to say, well, look, this is how good I am at promo, or this is my promo work. You know, with Mike Minor, he doesn't need to talk about all that other stuff, you know, what baseball game he's been watching or whatever. But
well,
that's...
if you're speaking on that behalf, dude, and we kind of spoke briefly before we came live, when in my promo I did like mention people from other e-feds, and you know, I kind of said like fucked up things, like I said, they were shit and stuff. Now when you see a promo like that, and like even though it's all me, like I got told, like I pretty much sent you a message that said, hey man, I'm just doing a shoot promo, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And I sent you that. Was there a matter of in your head, okay, maybe I would have to retract it, or you know what, fuck it, this is kind of the character he wants to try and build, and you leave it that way? Or you know what I'm saying?
Well, the way I figure it is, what people say in their promos is on them.
It's
you know?
on them, yeah.
I'll put it on the show, and no doubt, like, I'm gonna probably get a bit of backlash from your promo, like, from a couple of people. But
well, if you go, man, like, I'll just like refer them to me, man, because like as I said, like, if people take what I said seriously, they have issues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If my opinion on another e-fed, that's my opinion. Not everybody likes WWE. Not everybody likes TNA. What's the big difference? It's even though just because what we do is, you know, on a minor scale, right?
Yeah.
It's no different, bro. It's only a matter of opinion, and you know, and I think a lot of people would be behind my opinion in that one. Yeah. But you know, man, what can you do?
No. Well, we've been going 53 minutes. Mr. Perfect has won the Royal Rumble. Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Good stuff. Yeah, but it's been great to have you on, Rob. Do you want to answer that question about Mike Minor there? Because he did ask it to both of us, so what's your opinion on that?
Hang on. It's like he's basically just filling in the gaps, so then he can think of what he's going to say next. That's what it feels like to me. You know, he's just talking about his day, so then he can think about what he's going to say next. Basically, that's what he does. And to some extent, I wouldn't see it as a bad thing, because it sets him apart from a lot of other people. You know, he's adding that realism to it. It's not so much a wrestling promo, it's more like based on his real life.
Right, and it's like you're it's like Michael Minor is Michael Minor. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
That's
saying?
it,
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah.
There's not much of a character there. It's more recently where that character has started to blossom a bit more, I feel.
A lot to do with Doug and the Magnificent stuff.
Yeah, of course. And he's become a bit more serious, and he's getting better, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I just want you to know, like, from that element, because, you know, I watch a few and I always said, Mike, you don't need to say that, bro. You know,
Yeah.
that's where times I say that. And I know your character, DeVito, is not like, you don't have, like, a character, right?
No, but I do.
alright.
Mr. D is my main character, but he's dead, so I'm not.
Alright, so I guess this question will just be for Rob, so specifically. If there was three, like, people you haven't worked with, I don't know, you probably worked with them all for all I know, but is there like three people that stand out where you're like, yeah, I can see down the line, I can work with that person?
Well, Jesse,
Right, that's a good
definitely.
one.
Would love to do something with him down the road. To be fair, though, I mean, I feel like I've worked with some of the best, like, in terms of characters. I feel like I've worked with some of the best, you know, like with Mr. D, Will, Boston
Right.
fan.
Rank with Jeff.
There was another one, but he's not really about anymore so much, which is a real shame. I mean, we've done a little bit together, but it didn't get to that point where I wanted it to. That was Ramp with Jeff. That was another guy that I really wanted to do a storyline or a program, whatever you want to call it. That's something I really wanted to do. Ramp with Jeff. That was a guy for the longest time. I wanted a rivalry with or without a title, involved.
Yeah, he was actually pretty good, I liked him.
Yeah, he's just he hates YouTube now, doesn't he? Because of all the what they done with all the money and all that. So he's not really around as much anymore. But he's, we've still got him and that. Like, we use him, his character, if we need to. But
if the guy's not going to do promos, then it's kind of, it loses that magic. You know, I mean, you could book us in a match and it would be a great match, obviously, because we're doing it and that's what we do. But without that element of us promo from, obviously I would do the promos, but I mean, if he wasn't putting his bit in, it wouldn't be,
It'll be one-dimensional. It'll be a one-dimensional promo. You know, a feud where it was just Robert Rage versus a computer.
yeah,
you know?
That's basically it, yeah. And that's why, like, the stuff with me and Will and me and Boston fan, they're like my three favourite things I've done. So, in terms of feuds, anyway.
Yeah, they were actually pretty good. The one with Will was very fucking good, man. I enjoyed that one.
yeah. Well, I've got I do Jake, the character Jake. I do the character Doug, and Vlogger Bob. So like, because the thing was, when I was doing it as Mr. D, it ended up everybody wanted to fucking feud with me, and I was like, I was feuding with fucking like 8 people at a time. You know what I mean? I'm like, I can't carry the entire show,
Right.
And it was like, so I took him out for a while, brought him back for a month, but everybody got on his case again, so I was like, right, fuck it, kill him. And just stick to doing the fucking commentary stuff. You know?
The commentary is fucking cool, man. I enjoy the commentary. Like, I remember in my debut, you were like, you kept repeating it, and I found it funny. It was like, they have the veteran NF Punk versus Aiden Drake or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a veteran now? I've been doing EFES for about 2 years prior. Like, I want to say 2015. Some of it was good, some of it was bad.
Yeah.
That's how it goes, man.
Alright then, dude. Well, any final words, anything you want to say before we go? We'll end it now. So,
Me?
Yeah, anything you want to plug or, you know?
Nah, man, I'm all good, man. Just like for people that are watching and will watch this, subscribe to the YTWE 18 Plus. You will not be disappointed by the work that gets put into them weekly shows. Thanks to you and Rob for having me on the podcast, man. I appreciate it.
That's right. You've been a good guest, man. It's been great to have you.
No problem, man.
All right, Rob, you want to do the sign out thing?
Alright. Well, this has been the PSDovito podcast number 2 with our guest NF Punk. Thank you again for joining us, NF Punk. Really appreciate it.
No problem, man.
We will be doing this again. We don't know who the next guest will be. That's the beauty of these podcasts. No one knows who they're going to be. But thank you to the guys who watched this. Thank you to the people that will watch this down the road. Check out YTW 18 Plus. I mean, NF Punk stole a bit again, but
Yeah. That's cool, man. That's cool.
I don't think I'll be broken. I'll be stolen.
Cool, man. All right, then we'll end this, and thanks for watching.